We'll chant Om 3 times, followed by the invocation mantras. Inhale deeply. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. As we're studying Kathopanishad, we'll also chant the introductory invocation of Shankaracharya ji for both Lord Yama and Nachiketa. Please repeat after me. Om. Can you unmute yourself?
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vaivasvataya
Vevasutaya
Mrityave
Vritave
Brahma Vidyacharyaya
Brahma Vidyacharyaya
Nachiketase cha.
Nachiketase cha.
Thus, we are praying to both the student and the teacher of this Brahma Vidya as the Brahma Vidyacharyas, both Mrityu and Nachiketa. Okay. Now, Mrityu is the teacher of the universe, whereas Nachiketa becomes teacher of on this earth. Right? So both of them are teachers. So now what we are looking at is that Nachiketa has gone to Yama's abode and he waited for 3 days. And when Mrityu heard about it, because he was out of town for something else, so when he heard about it, he immediately came to Nachiketa and he offered 3 boons. The first boon that Nachiketa asked was for the welfare and happiness of his father. Then Mrityu, Yama, has granted that boon. We have already seen that. Now Nachiketa is asking for that knowledge that will help to attain Vairajyam. Vairajyam or Vairajya Padam means it is Prajapati Loka. Now, whether it is Vairajyam, Vairajya Padam, Prajapati Loka, all these terms, basically they kind of fall into a category of Svargaloka alone. So, a different type of Svarga, meaning a heavenly abode. In this Svargaloka, there is no fear of sickness, right? And there are no shed urmis. Urmi meaning shed urmis means there are the 6 difficult things which are Ashana, Pipasa, Jara, Mrityu, Shoka, Moha. Ashana, Pipasa. Ashana means hunger. Pipasa is thirst. Jara means old age. Mrityu is death. Shoka is grief. And Moha is delusion. So these six things hurt us throughout our life in one way or other at various levels. So these are not there in this Swargaloka. And Yama is also not there. So in Swargaloka, so there's no entry for Yama into Swargaloka, right? So so there's no old age, there's no fear of death. And in Swarga, okay, one is enjoying. Okay. So therefore Nachiketa wants to learn more about this. Why does he want to learn more about this? Is not for himself, but for the sake of his father. If you remember, if you recall, this prayer, this whole thing started with his father performing a Sarvajit Yajna to attain higher abodes, and then he failed miserably. So he wants to ensure that his father is successful as well as everyone is successful. Okay. So now this prayer, this particular yajna requires Agni. So, and Agni, we will learn more about it. Okay. This is based on both karma and upasana. Karma means performance of an action. Upasana means performance of like some kind of a mental ritual. So this combination, and also there is a component of karma, there's a component of upasana, and there's also jnana component is also there. So upasana is basically karma and jnana together. So we say jnana karma samuchaya. Samuchaya means combination of both, combination of jnana and karma. So now he is asking Yama to teach that. And of course, Nachiketa has got faith. He has got Shraddha to learn. Now, this, when he has asked, Yama is ready to teach that. So that is where we are here. Okay, so now we are going to study the 14th mantra of first chapter of first valley, first adhyaya. So first I will break down the words, and then we will, one of you will unmute yourself and repeat after me. Pra, te, bravimi, tadu. Tadu is actual tat, u together. Tadu, me, nibodha, swargyam, agnim together becomes swargyam agnim, nachiketaha, prajanan, ananta, loka, apti, aptim, atho, that becomes ananta lokapti matho, pratishtham, vidhi, tvam etam. Okay, so that becomes tvametam, nihitam, guhayam. So together, all of this, this is the breakdown the word. One of you, please repeat after me. Prate bravimi
Bravimi
tadume nibodha
tadume nibodha
swargyamagnim
swagyamagnim
nachiketaha
nachiketaha
prajanan
prajanan
anantalokapti
anantalokapti
anantalokaptim
anantalokaptim
atho pratishtham
adho pratistham
vidhi
vidhi
tvametam
tvametam tvametam
nihitam guhayam.
nihitam guhayam.
So now Yamaraja is saying, I'm going to teach. So this is the pratigna of mrityu. Mrityoho pratignyayam. So this is what pratigna, Lord Yama is making this pratigna. What is saying? Te tubhyam prabravimi. I'm going to tell you. Okay, I will tell you whatever you are asking. So, yatvaya prarthitam tat u me mama vachanah nibodha bhutasva ekagramanaha san. See, the thing is that you are asking me to teach something, right? But now you are a young boy. As we said, Nachiketa was under 10 years old. From an age perspective, his knowledge is, I mean, like his clarity of thought is very clear, but still a young boy. Now, for a young child, the mind goes here and there. It can easily gets distracted. So that's why Yama is saying, because whatever I'm going to teach you is very important, you should understand from my words with ekagra manaha, eka agra manaha. So that means single pointed attention. So that means this knowledge, especially when it is very subtle, it requires lot of attention. And we said this is karma jnana samuchaya. So this karma jnana samuchaya means it is not just karma is there, but there's jnana aspect also is there in this teaching. So this karma jnana samuchaya is there. That is what is going to be done. So you have to focus carefully. Okay, swargyam. Okay, swargyam swargaya hitam swarga sadhanam agnim he nachiketa prajanan vijnata avan iti arthaha. So that means that he is going to teach how to go to swarga. Okay, swarga again here, the Prajapati Loka. Okay. And to go to this swarga, you need to use fire, agni. And that is a sadhanam. Sadhanam is that is the instrument. So through the instrument of fire, you can go to swargam. Hey Nachiketa. So listen. Prajanan vijnanavan sannaham iti arthaha. So you have to focus very well. So now the thing is that here, later, I mean, like maybe today itself we'll see this Agni. The one of the meanings of Nachiketa is Agni. So here, Nachiketa himself is Agni, number one. And we discussed about the meaning of Nachiketa in a little bit in the past, but Nachiketa has got like different ways of understanding. Chiketa. Okay, Chiketa means one who has interest in material world. So now this Nachiketa means he doesn't have any interest in this material world. How do we know that he doesn't have any interest in this material world? When his dad was saving cows, good quality cows for him, he didn't want them. Give away. And then when his dad said, go to Yama, he didn't hesitate. He gave up the entire world, entire body, and came to Yama. Now, later on, in our next session, probably we will see that Yama is going to try to give him a lot of boons and distract him, but he won't get distracted with any of these earthly boons or even heavenly boons either. Okay, so that means that he has no interest in this material world. That is one meaning. Now, chi also means interest. So, chi. Na plus chi plus keta. Keta means ketana. Ketana means niketan. So that means there's no interest in a house. So meaning like he doesn't need to stay at one place. Now keta also means ketu. Ketu represents a glory of fame. So Nachiketa means he's not interested in fame also. So that means that he's not interested in properties, etc. But he's also not interested in fame, etc. Okay, so that is the nature of this Nachiketa, who is Agni. Okay, now what is this Agni? Why we see, like we all do the prayer. I mean, like, see, the thing is that, like, today we do pujas. When we do pujas, we have a pratima in front of us. Pratima means a form. This form could be an idol or a picture. Now, this idol worship, many vigraha aradhana. Just I'm not talking about idol worship as in the way Westerners think about, but vigraha aradhana was propagated and started in Dwapara Yuga during Lord Sri Krishna's time. Prior to that, the prayers were done through Agni. So, during Rama's time, Treta Yuga, etc. It is Agni was used. Now, why Agni? It is because if you remember the basics of Vedanta, how does the world, creation starts? Creation starts with Akasha. Akasha means space, not sky. Okay, space. And from space comes, Akasha comes Vayu, air. From Vayu comes Agni, fire. From fire comes Apaha. Apaha means water. From water comes Prithvi, solid matter. And from there, everything comes. So that's why these first five are called as Panchamahabhutas. Now, prior to Agni, there is no form. The form started in this universe with Agni, because Akasha and Vayu doesn't have any form. Now, now when we look at this prapancha, what we say, Nama Rupa Prapancha. Right? This whole prapancha, we call it as Adhyastha Nama Rupa Prapancha. So, Rupa means like this world that has got form. So, whenever there is a problem with the form, and the beginning of the form happened with Agni, you reach out to Agni Deva and he will remove that dosha in that sakara. Sakara means akara. Okay. One which has got akara is sakara. Akara means form. Okay. So one which has form, if there is a problem with that, the ruler of that form, Agni Deva, can remove that dosha. That is how they would reach to Agni Deva to fix, because anything in this world is seen. So in the seen world, if I had to fix something, I have to get help. Either like there is no rains, or maybe it is because there is a fear of enemies or anything like that. It is all akara based. So that is why you start prayers with Agni. That's what this. That's the significant reason why we prayed to Agni in the past. And now in Puranas, what they say is that this Agni Deva is also messenger who can go to any place and like he's like as a postman. Okay, so when you do ahutis into Agni, so let's say this Shivaya Swaha, we say. So then what he does is that whatever oblation you poured into that Agni, Agni Bhagavan actually takes that oblation and goes and personally delivers to Lord Shiva. Then you say Vishnave Swaha, then he goes and takes it and goes and hand delivers to Lord Vishnu. So in that way, what happened is this Agni Havan Kunda is like a mailbox where you're just telling like, okay, this should go here, this should go there, and like this should go to whom should each of those oblations go? They are all delivered by Agni. That is another. I mean, that is what like we say in Purana. So this is this Agni, because this Agni Vidya is what Nachiketa is asking. That's why there's a discussion of this Agni. So now he's saying that Parabravimi Tannibhoti cha Shishya buddhi samadhanartham vachanam. So why did he say prabravimi? I am going to tell you, I am going to teach you, please understand, because he is preparing the mind of the student to settle down and focus. Adhunagnim stavati anantalokaptim swargaloka phalaprapti sadhanam iti etat. Then Adhuna Agnim Stuti. Now that he settled down the student's mind, that okay, I'm going to teach you, listen. Now he needs to talk, he needs to tell about the greatness of that uh, uh, Agni, right? So he said, Anantaloka Aptim Swargaloka Phala Prapti Sadhanamiti. So this is a sadhana. Sadhana means this is a means to gain Ananta Lokaptim. Ananta Lokaptim means gaining this, you will like gain entire Ananta. Ananta means unending lokas. Unending lokas means all universes you will gain. Swarga Loka Phalam also you will gain. So what it means is that Ananta Lokas here like actually is like a large number. Okay? It's not infinite. Okay? Only Brahman alone is truly Ananta. Everything else is relatively Ananta. Okay? So that means what? Now you gain everything. Does it mean like you own this, you own that, etc.? No. What it means is that you will identify yourself with everything. That is the understanding. So now Athopi pratishtham ashayam jagato virat swarupena. Now, because you are identifying with everything, what happens is that Virat, okay? So you will identify yourself with Virat. Now, Virat, what is Virat? Brahman, right? Okay. Okay, so because Lalita Garu and Sita Garu, if there are any questions, please interrupt me and ask. Okay, because some of these concepts are Vedantic concepts. I don't know if you are already familiar with this or not. Okay. What we say is Parabrahma or Brahman, we say. When we say Brahman, Brahman is the final ultimate, or you can say as God or entity. And that alone is that there's nothing other than Brahman. However, Brahman has a Shakti, has a power called as Maya. When Brahman is identified with Maya, this Brahman is called as Ishvara. Now, when I say Ishvara, please don't think about Lord Shiva. Okay? Ishvara is different from Shiva. Now, so Maya plus Brahman equals Ishvara. Okay, Brahman plus Maya is Ishvara. It doesn't mean that Ishvara is superior than Brahman because there's also Maya. No, no, no. Brahman identified, when it is identified with Maya, he becomes Ishvara. Now, when there is Ishvara, meaning like when he is identifying with Maya Shakti, this Maya Shakti hasn't produced anything yet. Okay? But this Maya has got three gunas. Okay? Maya has got three gunas. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Now, with this Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, these three gunas are somehow in balance and sometimes they go out of balance. When there is a out of balance, there's a disturbance in Maya. When that disturbance happens, creation starts. Okay. Clear so far? Okay. Now, why does that? So we'll come to that. Now, when this creation starts, initially everything is subtle. Subtle means sukshma. Sukshma means it is beyond all senses. Okay, it can neither be heard, nor can be seen, nor can be smelt, like that. Okay, so it is beyond pancha jnanendriyas or karmendriyas. Now the Brahman who was identified with quietude, okay, of Maya, we called as Ishvara. But when this Srishti Prakriya started, okay, in Sukshma Sthiti, in subtle state, that Brahman who is identified with this Sukshma Prapancha is called as Hiranyagarbha. Okay? Then, after a while, when this creation started, this is initially it is Sukshma, but eventually it will also become Sthula. Sthula Prapancha. Sthula Prapancha is gross, we say in English. Okay, it's not like a gross. The spelling is similar to, oh, it is so gross, it's dirty, but that's not what it means. Gross means something which is not subtle, which is not sukshma, which is sthula. When this Sthula Prapancha is there, again Brahman, who is identified with this entire Sthula Prapancha, is called as Virat. Okay, so you can think like Ishvara is always there. Hiranyagarbha is born. Okay, Hiranyagarbha is born when Srishti started, Srishti Krama started. And when the Sthula Prapancha construction has started, the entire Sthula Prapancha put together is called as Virat Purusha. So for example, when we study chapter 11 of Bhagavad Gita, there we see Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga chapter. In that, the Vishwarupa that Bhagavan shows is Virat. Okay? Because he is showing the gross, or the whole gross figured prapancha to Arjuna. Okay, so that is Virat. So this is now Virat is also Brahman, but identified with Sthula Prapancha. Hiranyagarbha is also Brahman, but identified with Sukshma Prapancha. Ishvara is also Brahman, but identified with Karana Prapancha. Okay? But Karana Prapancha includes Sukshma Prapancha, and Sukshma Prapancha includes Sthula Prapancha. Okay? So as a result, Ishvara or within Ishvara there is Hiranyagarbha, and within Hiranyagarbha there is Virat. So sometimes it is said that Virat is the son of Hiranyagarbha. Okay, so because it is included, that's the idea. So this is a little bit of a clarification, because we are studying this Virat Swarupena. So because this here in this mantra, what is said is that Prate bravimi tadubeni bhotam swayamagnim nachiketa prajananantaloka pratishtham vidditvamena nihitam guhayam. So here, this prapancha, this entire prapancha, in this entire prapancha, okay, this what is pratishtha is there? I mean, like, what is support of this universe is athopi pratishtham ashram jagato virat swarupena, meaning all the foundation and the support of the universe of Brahman is provided in the form of Virat. Okay? So this Virat Swarupena. So that means now this Virat Swarupa So this Agni is nothing but is not just a physical flame, but it is representing this entire cosmic energy of this Virata Swarupa, which is sustaining entire Virata Swarupa. Why? Why this Agni is representing that? Because what is the goal? The goal of Nachiketa, like any whoever is performing this Nachiketa Agni, this Havan, this Yajna, they want to become one with Virata. Okay, so Virata Pratishtha is Virata is the first, as I mentioned, Virata is the first gross form from which the entire gross world, meaning entire Sthula Prapancha, comes out. So Virat is the Ashraya for this entire world. Okay. So Tvam Vidhi meaning, hey Nachiketa, Tvam means you. Vidhi means you gain and you understand what gaining this. You will be identified with entire Virata. So that means you will be identified with this entire world. Tametam agnimayochamanam vidhi vijanihatvam nihidam sthitam guhayam. So this fire, this Agni that I'm speaking about, it is as if it is placed and it is existing in a cave. Guha, guhayam. Guhayam nihitam means it is in a cave. What is in what do you mean by it is in a cave? Nihitam guhayam means it is hidden in guha, meaning it is not readily available. It is hidden in buddhi guha, a secret only a wise person will know. Okay? Only a selected few wise beings in this universe knows about this. Okay? So here the Shruti says this knowledge is being given to Nachiketa. Okay? But this Guhayam refers to a secret place in the heart where the highest truths are realized. So this Guha is not physical Guha, but Guha in the heart. Guha in the heart means, again, it's not like, those four walls in the heart. Not like that. It is something hidden right within us. Vidusham buddho nivishtam ityarthaha. So the meaning is that it is seated within the intellect of the wise. This guha. So here, so in this mantra, what Lord Yama is saying is that I'm going to teach you. However, you must be very careful and pay attention. Okay, because this is, as I said, Jnana Karma Samuchaya, right? It is a mixture of Jnana and Karma based Upasana. Okay, and the Falita, the result of this, okay, by performing this yajna is also highest, because it is very high, because you're going to identify yourself with this entire Virat Purusha. So now again, now here, in the next mantra, you'll see that the Upanishad says that this knowledge is given to Nachiketa. Okay? However, it doesn't really describe what Yama taught. Okay? This Agni Vidya is not taught here, because the role of Upanishad is not to talk about karma or upasana. This is something that we discussed in our last session. Okay? But this Nachiketa Agni information is available within our Vedas in Taittiriya Brahmana, which is part of Krishna Yajurveda. Okay, so Krishna Yajurveda talks about, has a section called Taittiriya Brahmana. Okay, we also have Taittiriya Upanishad also in the same Brahmana. Okay, Taittiriya Upanishad is also there. But before Upanishad, there is a Brahmana portion, and in that Brahmana portion, this Agni Vidya is, Nachiketa Agni Vidya is described in detail. Okay? So, that said, now let us go to the 15th mantra. So, I'll break down the words. Lokadim Agnim. Okay. Lokadim Agnim becomes Lokadim Agnim. Tam Uvacha becomes Tam Uvacha. Tasmai Ya Ishtaka Yavatirtva Yatha Va Sa Chapi Tat Pratyavadadya Thoktam. Okay. Tat Prati Avadya Avad Yathoktam. Okay. Tat Pratyavad Yathoktam atha and asya athasya mrityuhu punarevaha tushtaha. So this is the breakdown. So one of you please unmute yourself and repeat after me. Lokadimagnim
लोकादिमग्निं
tamuvacha
तमुवाच
tasmai
अस्मै
ya ishtaka
या इस्तका
yavatitva
यावती त्वा
yatha va
यदा वा
sachapi
न चापि
sachapi
तत्प्रत्यवद
no sachapi
सच्चापि
tatpratyavadadyathoक्तं
तत्प्रत्यवदद्योक्तं यद्योक्तं
tatpratyavat
तत्प्रत्यवद
yathoक्तं
यदोक्तं
athasya
अदान्यः अदास्य
मृत्युः
मृत्युः
पुनरेवाह
पुनरेवाह
तुष्टः.
तुष्टः.
So because this is Upanishad, right? Veda Upanishad, right? So we chanting it correctly is more important than say raga or thing. So that's why tune is not. Like tune is secondary. Chanting correctly is more important. So that's why I'm not putting any tune or like chanting like long lines. Okay? Now this is idam Trutaya Vachanam. So this mantra is said is told by Shruti, as in like it is not a dialogue uttered by either Yama or Nachiketa. Because the previous one, Yama said, right? So okay, Nachiketa, I'm going to teach. Listen carefully. So in this mantra, what is happening is that what exactly Yama has taught and what happened, that is being narrated. Okay, this is the narration portion. Lokadim लोकानामादिं प्रथमशरीरत्वात् अग्निं त्वं प्रकृतं नचिकेतसा प्रार्थितम् उवाच उक्तवान् मृत्युः तस्मै नचिकेतसे. So these are the words of scripture, right? So Yama spoke to Nachiketa. What about this Lokadim? Lokadim meaning whatever is the Adi in Loka, meaning beginning of the world. So that means what is the beginning of the world? Okay. This means that which is the cause of this entire world. So what is the cause of entire world? What was the first born Sharira in this world? Is Virat Purusha. Hiranyagarbha, was it not Hiranyagarbha? Hiranyagarbha is Sukshma. Because it is Sukshma, subtle, it is beyond our senses. But on the other hand, Virat is Sthula, so it is a Prathama Sharira. So it is not like Virat is a, please do not think that Virat is some being. Okay, so you can visualize Virat as a being, but understand Virat is this entire Srishti put together. Okay, this entire Srishti put together. Okay, if you have a camera and you take the picture of this entire universe, that is the picture of Virat. Now, interestingly, that picture also is part of that Virat. Also, the camera that you use is, and you are also part of that Virat as well. So, this Virat is representing that Samashti. Samashti meaning accumulated Sharira. Okay? So, this Agnim, Lokadim. So, that means that Virat, Lokadim is Virat, Agnim is referring to that knowledge, Tam Tasmai Uvacha. So that knowledge corresponding to this Agni, okay, this fire ritual, okay, that knowledge has been given by Yama to Nachiketa. Okay. Kincha, how did he give? In addition, Yaha Ishtakaha. Svetavyaha Swarupen Yavatirtva Sanyaya Yadhava Chiyate Agniryena Prakarena Sarvametavittavanityarthaha. So here, how did you do Yashtaka Yavatirtha Yadhava? So Ya Ishtaka means bricks. Ishtaka means bricks. Okay. Ya Ishtaka means and other things. Yeah, Vatirtva. Oh, how much of each of this material you need? Okay. Oh, so like tomorrow, if I need to do a puja at our home, I call the priest. Maybe not bit. One day I heard like maybe like a week before or a month before, I call the priest and ensure that we got an appointment. Then what I do, I'll call the priest and he'll say, okay, so you need uh, 2 dozen flowers or and then you need 1 kilo of rice and you need 3 coconuts, like that he gives a list, right? So that list is being given to him. Okay, how many bricks are needed, how many of how much firewood is needed, where it is to be placed, how the fire has to be lit. Okay, all of this is respective with karma. Okay, remember, like I was talking about the what is it I'm talking about? Taittiriya Brahmana. In Taittiriya Brahmana, when it talks about Agni, it tells about how to to put fire, how to light fire. Because see, the thing is that you cannot simply light fire with a matchstick. Okay, you this. You need a something called arani. Okay, uttararani and dakshinarani. So that means that like what you do is that you'll actually uh, light fire by using rubbing 2 pieces of wood. Okay, you need to generate spark by rubbing 2 pieces of wood, and and with that thing you have to light the fire, and that itself is a huge process. And so like that, it's just, and how to do the patra should be okay. On that there's a big description, and what kind of patras meaning like vessels, etc., that you need to put, where they need to be placed, how they need to be placed. All of that is there. Okay. So here, this Yama is covering the karma portion, and Yama is covering the upasana portion with all the details without leaving anything. So, for example, Ishtaka, right? Ishtaka means bricks, we said. How many bricks are needed to put a havan? Today, in modern day, we put maybe 10 or 12 bricks. Okay, or if it is bigger, maybe like 27 bricks, 54 bricks, etc. But typically for a yajna, you would need 720 bricks. Why 720? Because when this Agni is being propitiated, according to our Hindu calendar, we have 360 days in a year. When we have 360 days, like daytime, there's 360 nights also. So this 720 bricks is representing 360 days and 360 nights, showing that the power of Agni is present in and through every morning and every night. Okay. So like that, so every aspect that you're putting together, they all have a particular meaning. Understanding that meaning and performing the prayer, performing that karma is the mixture of karma and jnana. And understanding that Agni alone, no, when we are praying Agni, it is not just we are praying to Agni. Okay? According to Vedanta, again, Vedanta means according to our Vedas. Okay? Vedanta is coming from Vedas only, right? So, according to our Vedas, where did water and earth come from? Water and solid matter, they both came from, water came from Agni, Apaha came from Agni, and Prithvi came from Apaha, means the earth came from water. So that means what? When I am propitiating Agni, I am not just propitiating Agni alone. Agni alone is in Apaha, Agni alone is in Prithvi. That means that in every visual thing that I can see, In everything that is visible to me, to my eyes, Agni is there in everything, everywhere. So when I am praying to this Agni, understand that I am praying to this entire universe, okay? Entire Virata Purusha. And this Virata Purusha is there only in this Brahmanda or what? No, 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 no. Virat Purusha is there in Anantakoti Brahmanda. So this understanding has to be there. And with that, karma, jnana, samuchaya, upasana, where buddhi, our dhyanam, all of that is also included in this karma. So that is this Nachiketa Agni Vidya. So with that kind of an understanding, that yajna has to be performed. Sa chapi Nachiketaha tat mrityun uktam pratyavadat yathavat pratyayana pratyucharitavan. So now when Yama has given all the description, Yama was not like you asked for a boon, I told you, done. He didn't say that. Instead, he asked, Sachapi tat pratyavadatya dhoktam. So he asked, Yama said, I told you everything? Yes? Yes, sir. Did you get it? Yes, sir. Repeat it. Show me that you got it. So then Nachiketa has repeated everything exactly as recited by Yama. Yathoktam. Okay? Pratyavadat. Pratyavadat means Pratyavad. He repeated everything back. Yathoktam, as narrated, as it is told by Yama only. Okay? And then, so that way, what did he ensure? The teacher has ensured that student has learnt properly. Now, when student has said that, okay, he proved that he learned properly, what did Yama do? Atha asya pratyucharanena tushtaha san mrityu punareva varatraya vyatireka varam ditsuhu. So when that is done, pratyucharana, this pratyucharana is a like as in like he repeated back, right? The student repeated back whatever the teacher has said. So this is the important part of our oral tradition. In our Vedic schools, right? I mean, like in our Gurukulas, etc. In the past, there were no textbooks. Okay, the teacher will say, and the student will listen and repeat and remember. Okay, and so what happened? Effectively, the student is photocopying the brain of the teacher. Into where? Into his brain. So this is how the knowledge was transferred from speech to hearing. Speech to hearing. That is why no matter how many external forces invaded Bharat across these centuries, and no matter how many temples they destroyed, how many books they destroyed, that knowledge remained because of this capacity for this pratyucharana. That is, whatever heard, they remembered and they were able to repeat and they were able to reproduce. So here, Nachiketa has proved his readiness, okay, by showing this this ability, right? So when that is done, what happened? This pratyucharana, no, tushtaha. Tushtaha means happy. Who is happy? Mrityuhu. So the teacher is very happy. And then he said, you know what? You did very good. Because you did very good, I'm so happy and I'm going to give you another boon. Okay. So what is that boon? That is described in the next mantra. But here, see, what happened is that in the first mantra, first boon, what is it showing? Nachiketa's love for the people who loved him. Even though his dad, his father asked him to go to Yama, Nachiketa understood that his father loved him. And this whole yajna, what yajna? The original yajna that his father performed. Okay? Why did it start? For the sake of his son. Okay? For father's love. So now, even though, because he understood, Nachiketa understood that my father loves me, and in his blind love for me, he should not go to lower realms of existence. He wanted to ensure that the father goes to higher realms of existence, and that's why he put father in right path. And in the process, he lost his life. Yet, he still loved his father and said, like, ensured that as part of first boon, that his father is Shanta Sankalpaha Sumanaha, like that, right? So he is peaceful, he is content, cheerful, and all of that he requested. What did the second boon show? This second boon is showing in his Nachiketa's interest in uplifting the entire society, so others can also benefit. Because once this Nachiketa Agni is given, Nachiketa Agni Vidya is given by Lord Yama himself to him, it is not just Nachiketa performs that or his father performs it, anybody can perform that. Right? So everybody can benefit from this great yajna. Now, in this in the second boon, what we saw is that the teacher said, pay attention to what I'm saying. And did he pay attention? Of course, yes. And as soon as the teacher completed about the description, the detailed description of the yajna, he was able to repeat it back. So this ability is showing that Nachiketa is an ideal student, and he doesn't need to do any additional seva, because now the teacher and student are on the same length to learn the real knowledge. Okay. So that is what it is. So now Yama, as we said, right, just now, Yama was happy. Because Yama was happy, he wanted to give a extra boon. Okay, so let us chant the shloka, so this mantra, and see a quick meaning of this, and we may have to review this in our next session as well. Okay, so I'll break down the words. Tam abravit priyamano mahatma varam tavehadya dadami bhuyaha taiva namna bhavitayam agnihi, bhavitayam and agnihi, srunkam chemam aneka rupam, meaning chemam aneka rupam gruhana. So please repeat after me. Tam abravit
Tamapraveen
priyamano
Priyamano
mahatma
Mahatma
varam
Varam
tavehadya
Tavehadya
dadami
Dadami
bhuyaha
Bhuyaha
tavaiva
Taveva
namna
Namna
bhavitayam
Bhavitayamagni
agnihi
Bhavitayama Agnihi
srunkam
Sunkam
chemam aneka rupam
Chemam Aneka Rupam
gruhana.
Grihana.
Okay? So here, now what did we say? That he is happy. So how katham tam nachiketasam abravit priyamana shishyasya yogyataam पश्यन् प्रीयमाणः प्रीतिम् अनुभवन् महात्मा अक्षुत्र बुद्धि वरं तव चतुर्थम् इह प्रीति निमित्तम् अद्य इदानीं ददामि भूयः पुनः प्रयच्छामि. So what happens is sometimes, not all teachers, sometimes when an intelligent student is found by teacher gets scared. This student is too smart. He will, whatever I know, he can learn in no time. And then what? Then he will outshine me. So I won't teach him completely. This is the kind of thing that people have. Okay? Yama is not like that. When tam Nachiketa sampravid priyamana, so shishyasya yogyatam pashyan, so shishyasya yogyatam pashyan, so that means that when he has seen the disciples yogyata means his fitness, okay, how he was priyamana, he was with very pleased, Priti Manubhavan, okay, he is experiencing love in his heart. He's a Mahatma, okay. Akshudra Buddhi. Kshudra means small, okay, little. Kshudra Buddhi means bad mind, a little mind. Akshudra Buddhi means not bad mind, meaning great mind. Bharantava Chaturdham Iha Priti Nimittam. Okay? He's saying like, I'm going to give you the fourth one also. One more, take it. Idanim dadami bhuya punah prayachami. Okay, I'm giving it out of my love to you. Tadaiva Nachiketa Hasanamna Abhidhanena Prasiddha Bhavita Mayochamana Ayam Agnihi. So, see, whatever I taught you, Nachiketa, that Agni Vidya, let it become popular by your name. Okay, so henceforth it will be called as Nachiketa Agni. Until then, nobody knew, meaning nobody on the realm of earth knew much about this. Somehow he heard about it and he wanted to know, Nachiketa wanted to know about it. He learnt about it and he's bringing it to earth for the first time. And that Agni this Agni Vidya that he's bringing, that is going to called as Nachiketa Agni. Okay? And Tavaiva Namna Bhavitayam Agnihi, the knowledge that is given by Yama, okay, it is called as Nachiketa Agni, I said, right? So in Taittiriya Upanishad, in Taittiriya, it says, Anantam Aparam Akshayam Lokam Jetiyah Agnim Nachiketasam Chinte. So what it means is that with the knowledge of Nachiketas Agni, okay, this Nachiketasa, one can attain Anantam, meaning endless, Aparam, vast, Akshayam, meaning something that doesn't decay, Lokam, so Jayati. Okay, so that means that with this Nachiketa Agni, you can attain endless, very vast, undecaying worlds. Why? Because you are going to be identified with Virat. And who is saying this? Not this Kathopanishad, but in some other place of Vedas also it is saying this. So now this is part of the boon. Okay, this is not just, it is not just naming rights that is given to this Agni, but rather he also did Kincha Srunkam Shabdavatim Ratnamayim Moolam Imam Aneka Rupam Vichitram Gruhana Swikuru. Okay. I'll take a couple more minutes. Is it okay? Okay. So now, in addition to this, he has offered Srunkam. Okay. Shrunka, that means that it has like a couple of meanings. Okay. So, a necklace. Shrunka means Shabdavatim, Ratnamayim. Ratnamayim means full of jewels. Mala means it's a garland of jewels. Imam, Aneka Rupam, different forms. Vichitram, wonderful. Okay. Gruhana, I'm giving it. Swikuru, take it. So, one is this, he's giving a jeweled necklace. But it also means something more. What it is it also means karma marga. path of action. So karma margam is what? I'm asking you to perform, go on the path of karma margam is you perform karma yoga. And when you are performing this karma yoga, what happens? Do you do one work and one action and stop? No. One after other, you keep on performing these actions. So that's why those actions, one after other, that becomes mala. And no two actions that we perform are alike. So they are all aneka rupam, different form types of actions. And sometimes you may have repeated actions. Okay, you cooked rice today, you cooked rice tomorrow. You took shower today, you took shower tomorrow. But just like as they say, no two snowflakes are alike. Okay, what you cook today is not going to be identical to what you're going to cook tomorrow. Okay, and then the type of work that we do are to many different things. So this karma gati is something that you must do, and then yadva srunkam akutsitam gatim karmamayim gruhana. So that means this karma gati that he is giving is akutsitam. Akutsitam karma gati means, kutsitam means something wrong. Akutsitam means blemishless. That means the path which doesn't have any blemish, meaning any dukkha. So that means what? You are going to walk on a karma marga where there is going to be no dukkham. So that means that Yama is blessing student, Nachiketa, that you are going to have anindita. Anindita means blemishless karma gati. Okay. Now this word shrunka will again come in next chapter also, third shloka, third mantra of next chapter. But there, shrunkam is like a trap, a bad path which many people fall into, and that has to be renounced. That one we'll see when we get to that point. But this shrunkam, okay, so anyadapi karma vijnanam aneka phala hetu tvat svikuru iti arthaha. So that means accept this karma vijnana phalam. Okay, aneka phalam hetutvat. Okay, so karma vijnana. Okay, so like the result of karmas. Okay, that you understand. Okay, so take this and then you shine forth. So the fourth boon that he has given, the additional boon, meaning we haven't come to the third boon. Second boon is complete, and the fourth boon is whatever yajna that is being performed, it is going to be called as Nachiketa Agni, and he has given a Varamala, a Ratnamala called Shrunka, okay, which means that it is, you can consider it as a jewel, a physical jewelry, but more important than that, there's a blessing of teacher to the student that he won't fall into any bad karma or karma phala in his spiritual pursuit, and he is going to walk the path of spiritual pursuit perfectly without any blemish. So then what happens? The result will be he will gain moksha. So this is a blessing of the teacher to the student. So here I'll pause and before we conclude, if there are any questions, I'll quickly answer and then we can go and close. Any questions so far? If there are no questions, shall we conclude? Yeah, go ahead, Sitaji.
No questions at all. Thank you.
पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
Thanks, Ante.